Let's start. The actual ideology, what they stand for. Are we jazz hands? Are we in the middle? Are we? Come on, give me something. Okay. All right. Cool. All right. So if I ask you a simpler question, can we all relate? Have we all understood the fact that it is far from the reality of Islam? Have we all got that? Okay, that's cool. Yeah. He's nodding. He's doing one of his hands. Alright, what else did we do? We did a little bit, we rushed it a little bit, and I do apologise. I didn't realise we have a little bit of administrative issues there that we've sorted out now. I thought we were going to repeat with different sessions, but different group. Anyway, so on the far right, we did that little bit of clip on the Zach and how he was influenced by white supremacist culture. Just give me where you are and just your understanding, just a general understanding of what it means to be a white supremacist. Okay, okay. Cool, alright, thank you very much. Sit yourself down. Well, guys. Okay, so we want to unpick some of the video. Did you like that video at the end? It's a really good video, it's really, really good. If you want to see it fully, because as you probably gathered, I've had it doctored a little bit. I've had it edited because there's some of the things at the start of that clip which I didn't agree with at all, the way that the conversation began. I had issues with it. So, but if you do want to look at it, I'm not precious about it. It's not mine. It's a thing called TrueTube. So if you want to have a look at that any time, you can do. So, key points from the video. Obvious one, guys. Let's have some. This is interaction now. I'm going to flip chart this. So what was the obvious answer to that, please? How did they come? What was the end result, first of all? What was the end result? Brilliant. How did they achieve that? How did they achieve that? Over here? By communicating. What's our logo? Well, I haven't got those colours, by the way. Nice and friendly light. I'll be more strategic than that. No, more than that. Oh, that's a good one, actually. Clever. Who's into Facebook and Twitter? Social media. Conversations, yeah? Really important. Have the conversation. What did they keeping to that point there, what was it that actually galvanised them at the end? Who said children? So, give me, if we have had that out a little bit, that was a specific, but what's the general point there?
They have things in common?
Commonalities, thank you very much. Alright, so conversation one, commonalities, conversation, we're going to have another C, communication. Alright, commonalities. That's a really, I do a lot of interfaith work. I've been on delegations with bishops, with ministers of various other religions, collectively trying to work, doing social, and not just converse, because a lot of the interfaith dialogue can just be chatting over cups of teas. I don't like that. We like to do social action stuff. So I was part of a delegation that went to a village in Pakistan that was desecrated because of some extremists out there who alleged certain things about the Christian community, and we went as a delegation of Christian ministers and imams together showing solidarity that look, in England we have this very strong respect for people's differences and different religions, and so you're in Pakistan. If you've ever seen the Pakistani flag, there's that green thing, there's a star and a crescent, but there's a white strip on the side. That white strip is representative of minorities in Pakistan. So the constitution actually has within it protection of minorities in Pakistan. Unfortunately, it doesn't always pan out like that. So we went to do that work. Conversations, doing stuff. If you've never met a Muslim in your life, and all your exposure has only ever come from the news and the media, which, and in fact it comes on, we've got that in later on. He alluded to it here. What was he saying? Both sides of both ends of it were quoting things to each other from media. Where was that? Where was it from? What did he say about the news? Remember the conversation? He said, where did you get that from? All America wants to wipe out Muslims. Remember that challenge? Yeah, and the internet. And then the guy says, you know, all Muslims are terrorists. So where did you get that from? You get ISIS and ISIL and 9/11. Where did you get that from? He said the media, right? He says, don't you think that the media are going to be checking the facts and stuff? Well, no, it's media. Any media students here? You'll know that media is about sensationalism, right? It sells. Yes, madam.
The media will only cover the bad points.
A little bit louder, please, sorry.
They'll only cover the bad points, not the actual reality, the things about it.
Yeah, so the biased points, not the reality. Yeah, good stuff. Okay, so yeah, how to achieve the result? Pure, simple conversation. And that is something I think as an English people, as a British people, I think we've got problems with that. I really do. You know, I do a lot of travelling on public transport, on the tube and stuff, and it's not easy to spark up a conversation. It's not. You know, in different parts of the land, actually, probably different. I was chatting to the tractor driver who brought me in, and he said, you know, we're a friendly folk here in Bury St Edmunds, and you know, we like to think that we, you know, we're cool. And he said, yeah. And actually, compliments to you guys. He actually said, even the young people. I don't know why he said that. Even the young people are really cool and friendly. So well done. But we have got problems. You know, that stiff upper lip. We don't like to open up easily. But I think we need to do that because the less we communicate with each other, the more the potential of the extremists coming and dividing us. Because that's what they want. The whole point of me and you is the conversation, but the rhetoric that we're trying to fight is the us and them situation. Those of you who've done the rap will know that that's one of the extremist agendas. Us and them, the divide. And we said no, it's not about the divide, it's about me and it's about you. It's about me and you, individuals having those conversations. Yeah? Good stuff. Second question. What vulnerabilities were being exposed? Oh man, there's some brilliant conversations. I think they're all great conversations, lads. I don't know if you agree, but certainly maybe the girls will. All really powerful conversations seem to happen in the loos. True? Is that right? Go on. What can you recall from there? Don't tell me about your own conversations. You don't say anything. But that, yeah, really powerful conversations in the loos. What was the conversation? Yes, take yourself and is it Alex? Go on, Alex.
The white guy was revealing that he had a poor childhood.
Yeah. Brilliant. Poor childhood. All right. Let's do this. Vulnerabilities. So, poor. I'll just use your words. I don't want to put childhood. Shout out, please. What else? Something else I have it yet?
There was also crisis of identity.
Brilliant! Round of applause! That's the key one. Alright. Crisis of identity. You did well picked up. I had that on the slide before and I said, good night, that was the number one vulnerability. Identity is the absolute number one vulnerability. Make sure this thing's off. Yes. Again, you got another one?
The other one that I picked up was like purpose as well, kind of a lack of purpose.
Excellent, excellent. Well done. Another round of applause. A sense of purpose, you know, that poor background didn't have things that he should have felt he should have had. The economy was down, poverty, yeah, that was in there. What else, guys? Anything else? Anything from the other chap, the Muslim chap? Huh? Yeah. So how do we? There's a bit about identity going on there, wasn't there? Again, but yeah, I think there's something about recognition of him and the conflict of his personal faith and the society around him. Yeah.
Yeah.
Seems to have all the answers. Have you written this down somewhere, sir?
Not quite. No, yeah. His just kind of reiterate. His seemed to be a problem with conflict of identity between his extremist faith, but then also the world around him.
Yeah, yeah. So society, religion. Brilliant. Anything else, Barbara? Do you want to come in? Did we pick up anything else? I think we covered it there. Well done, guys.
Covered it. It was their misconceptions, wasn't it? Also made them vulnerable.
Yeah, so this is why the conversation thing is so important. And actually, yeah, let's put that as a big one actually. Ignorance. Yeah, just actually not knowing about the other side. Remember, and that challenge was brilliant, wasn't it? I think that's my next question. So how did he get like that? That fits onto that. You remember that? So how did he get like that? He pushed him and he pushed him and he pushed him. And you've answered a lot of that already about childhood. Is there anything else you want to say? You got a hand up here? Yeah, Dave?
Well, with like the whole ignorance thing, it's kind of from limited sources of bias information.
Yeah.
Basically, the media.
Yeah, definitely. Limited sources of information. I think that was my fourth one. Yeah, how do they get their information? It's amazing, isn't it? We've got smartphones. One of my teachers often uses this phrase. Please take it with a pinch of salt. Smartphones, dumb people. Right? Have you heard that phrase?
Yeah.
You know, the dumb people, it's a bit, again, as I say, careful how you use that phrase, but what they're saying is that you don't question, and that's what was happening there. You know, he was just reading stuff, he was just taking information, it wasn't being checked. And going back to the number one as well, I think one of the things that we missed is how they achieved the end result. Both of them prompted each other to do what? More than that? Brilliant. Prompted each other to think. So do you really think for yourself? Right? So that's another vulnerability, isn't it? So the absence of critical thinking. And that is something that as a college, I know that your tutors and lecturers, that's the core, isn't it? If I said to your college principal, what's one of the ultimate core objectives that you want to achieve from your students? I'm sure they would say it's critical thinking, being able to think for themselves, being able to analyse things for yourselves. That's a really important part of your learning. Yeah? Brilliant, guys. Well done. Thank you so much. Hope you enjoyed that clip. I think it's a really powerful tool. And that racism stuff at the start as well, we didn't really say anything about that. But look, you know, that phrase, I'm not racist, but, yeah, I can't tell you the amount of times I've heard that. Because what that shows, again, it's underlying kind of misconceptions. I'm not racist, but, actually I'm not racist, but I don't really understand you. That's what people are really trying to say. And they're free to say that, yeah? And he was like, I'm not racist, but I hate Muslims. That's right. So we're going to have the opportunity now. We've got about, what time do I need to finish, Barbara?
You've got about another 20 minutes.
Oh, well, isn't that nice? It's like, no, not half an hour, 20 minutes. So I do this workshop with a lot of secondary schools. We've just chopped it down with a break there. It was Islam in an hour, but we've chopped it down to Islam in 20 minutes now, so I'm going to speak faster. And here we go, 5 pillars, 3 eyes. Everyone's heard of the 5 pillars. How many's heard of 3 eyes? None, yeah? And that's fundamental to Islam. So we're going to do that. We're going to look at Islam and Muslims in the media, but then actually, hang on, is that fair? If I wanted to know about Jesus Christ, or, you know, Buddhism, or Hinduism, or Judaism, if I was going to, where would I better go as a source? Am I going to look at the media, or am I going to look at Islamic scripture? So we're going to look at both that, and then I am going to hopefully stop 5 minutes earlier to get some really hard questions from you guys. Because I want you to use this opportunity. You may not ever see me ever again. But certainly, you know, a practicing Muslim who's passionate about his faith, you take that opportunity. And any misconception, any question, any area, I said this at the start thinking about those questions now because I do not get offended. Alright? You can say what you want. This is a safe environment. Okay? I want you to start thinking of those questions from the beginning. Okay? So here we go. Really quickly, we know these. That was the first one, declaration of faith. Know God, but Allah, Muhammad is That's the first pillar. Praying 5 times a day. Alright. Zakat is the 2.5% of not just income, it's disposable income actually. There's an error there. So I've got to pay all my dues, all my bills, and then whatever I've got left of that, I'll pay 2.5% of that to charity. Okay? The fasting during the month of Ramadan, I can say this is all adults in the room. No eating, no drinking, no sex as well. Okay? So, yes, it does become difficult when it's an 18-hour shift. Hajj, once in a lifetime. pilgrimage to Saudi, to Mecca. I don't know if you heard this year, it was horrendous. We've had there's 2 or 3 major incidents. There was a crane that collapsed. I mean, how stupid is that? Why would you have a crane in the middle of a mass pilgrimage with 7 million people or however many numbers there are? It's quite crazy. Well, 7 is probably a lot. Exaggerate. I think it's about 4 or 5 million people this year. And it's a building site. And a crane collapsed and it killed, in the actual sacred territory, in the house of Mecca in Saudi, it killed something like 200 people. It just literally collapsed. Guys, are we okay here? You got some questions? Yeah? Cool. So that's the summary of 5 pillars. You all know them. Okay, stand up, quick, and hiss as loud as you can and make the shape of a snake. Come on, hiss. You gotta do this. This is a proactive part of the lesson. I don't hear no hissing. I don't see some snakes, madam. Thank you, sit yourself down. Why, oh why, what the hell have snakes got to do with Islam? Are we that scary? Are we that slimy? I could go on, couldn't I? Alright? Why? What's snakes got to do with Islam? Anyone, any idea why I did that? No. We haven't got time to let me unveil, but here it is. The word is, ladies, I'm going to have to stop please. Thank you. The word is Islam with a sound. That's why I'm asking you to make the hissing sound. If you do not make the hissing sound, the Arabic will turn out wrong. You will say Islam, which in the Arabic means tyranny and violence. 2 diametrically opposed. How different are the 2? Yeah? That's why I get people to make the hissing sound. So there we are, just to make sure that I'm not making it up. Obviously these scribbles, you don't have a clue what they are, but the S sound is that red symbol there. That's the letter S in the Arabic, okay? As opposed to the letter Z in the Arabic. Yeah? So Islam, not Islam. Because if you say it the other way, so it gives you a good understanding of the text. Okay, the 3 eyes, okay. Take you back to history. Nice little picture of a desert land. Once a prophet was sat with his companions, disciples, and a person came and asked 3 questions. First question was, what is Islam? Okay. Thank you, sir. Do you have a question? No, sir. Are you sure? Yes, sir. First of the 3 eyes, he said, what is Islam? Well, the 3 questions, I'll just put them up. These are the 3 questions. What is Iman? I.e. what Muslims believe, 6 articles. What is Islam? What Muslims do, the 5 pillars that we've just gone through. And then the 3rd question, he said, what is Ihsan? Alright? And that is how they put all of that into practice. Now that 3rd aspect, you may have come across the 5 pillars, which I hope you have just done. You might even actually have an idea of what Muslims believe. But that 3rd eye, it doesn't get taught in schools, unfortunately, and it's a really fundamental part of it. So it's if you like, it's a package of how the above first 2 are put together. So what is the belief system? And the way I put it like this, in this pyramid. God said to the angels, take these books to the prophets, and these are the 2 fundamental messages inside. So it's from the top again. God said that the angels take the holy books to the prophets. You cannot be a Muslim if you don't believe in Jesus Christ. You cannot be a Muslim if I don't believe in Moses. I cannot be a Muslim if I don't believe in Abraham, in Isaac, in Ishmael. All those biblical prophets are mentioned in the Bible and in the Quran. I cannot be a Muslim if I don't have respect and love and honour for them. Okay? It's part of my creed. That is the creed of a Muslim. And then the prophets, the message that was contained was effectively twofold. Sorry about the overlap there. That there is a day of judgment, and that the will of God is absolute. Now, as a Barbara, if you don't mind me asking, as a Christian, is there anything there that you have a problem with?
No.
Exactly. Nothing. So actually the core message of Islam, and this is what I say about commonalities, is exactly the same as the core message of Christianity. And actually, Judaism as well. So, that's the 5 pillars. We've already done that. The 6 pillars, and now this is the bit that's a little bit hard. Alright? Ihsan is all about inner consciousness. How Muslims should behave. Basically, It's the spiritual aspect of worship. This is the definition in that quote there. Worshipping God as if you are seeing Him. And if you cannot see Him, remember He sees you. So that is a real big challenge for people. As Muslims, I should be aware. I should be, every single minute of my life, I am aware that God is watching what I'm doing. I should, if I can, and I try hard, I should elevate myself to a different dimension in spirituality and try to get to the position where not just He's watching me, but I am in His presence and I am seeing Him. So there's a differentiated approach to worship. And worship in Islam is not just about the 5 pillars that we've just said there. Me coming here today and speaking to you, getting in my car, getting in my train, going out there, earning a lawful earning for my children, for my family, all of that is considered worship. Anything I do for the pleasure of God, it's considered worship. And that last one there, absolutely powerful statement. Honouring God through honouring and respecting the creation of God. Yeah? Just a couple of slides to illustrate that. Yeah? All of that, God's creation, not only the natural fauna and fauna, eco-Muslims. There was a sermon outside the Parliament a couple of weeks ago. A friend of mine led a sermon outside the Parliament, the Parliament Green, to make a point that, look, Islam and Muslims have this responsibility, very similar to in Christianity, the concept of the vice-regency of Adam. We are God's stewards on this earth. We have exactly the same concept in Islam. Yeah? And I get really annoyed when I go to some areas and I see Muslims not looking after their environment, not getting involved in environmental issues, not recycling, not doing all those things that are there to protect the human, this creation of God. And obviously that whole different spectrum of human beings. There was a verse that I showed you in the earlier slides about respecting difference. Do you remember that? That we're created differently. The only reason why, so that you can get to know people. That's the ultimate objective. I call it the community cohesion verse. Bit of a difficult concept, that. I'll give you a couple of seconds to digest that. Come back with some questions if you have. Are we cool? So the third eye, yes sir.
Yeah, that place, honouring God through honouring His respecting His creations. Is that somewhat obviously to do with the 10 Commandments?
We respect the 10 Commandments. It's not a scripture that's directly. It's not. It's because it's from Moses. As I said before, in the pyramid thing, we respect that. Are you asking, does that statement come from there?
Yes, because like you said, you should not kill anyone.
Yeah.
You should not steal. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you could say that it's been inspired by that, possibly. Definitely, yeah. Well put tomorrow. Good. Any other questions? Yes, sir.
How can you respect say someone committed murder, how can you respect them and they didn't respect somebody else?
Powerful question. So now this is, you're asking further questions around, essentially it's kind of people who committed a crime, people who committed a sin, and then your response to that. Is that what you're asking? Well, exactly the same I'd say as Christianity. Jesus taught, as the Prophet taught, that, كل ابن آدم خطاؤون. All of the children of Adam are sinners, will make mistakes. But the best of those sinners are those that repent. So that's the concept of repentance. The door of forgiveness is always open for us. And that's how we answer that. Really good question. Brilliant. Okay, so 3 eyes, 5 pillars, and the 6 articles of faith, yeah? Those are the 3 eyes, you need to get that. So, Iman, faith, Islam, actions. You've got notebooks here, guys. Please do make use of them. Alright? The 3 eyes, if you've not got them down, please do get them down. The first one again, Iman, which is all about the faith, which is that diagram if you want to get down. Shall I flip back? That one there. If you just draw a snake, that will help you to remember. just noticed these nice little passports to your future. Really smart. Not just for doodling, huh? Okay, so get the diagram if you want to. God said to the angels, take his holy books to the prophets, and the two key beliefs are day of judgment and predestination. Okay? Cool? And then the ihsan bit, I think the best line from there is that one there, honouring God through God's creation. Oh, where does the time go? Okay, let's crack on. So, have a guess. What's going to come up? Pretty obvious. Extremism. Nice people? Not so nice.
Sarah, lights.
Lights, yeah, we do the lights on this one. Not nice people. If you were to Google image, do this actually the next slide, Google image Christians, Google image Buddhists, Google image Jewish people, right? Look at the stark difference in the portrayal. Remember, this is Google imagery. It's not scientifically based, it's just imagery. And if those of you know anything about Google, how it picks up things is just those mentions, isn't it, on the web. And that just gives you a big insight to how Islam is mentioned in Muslims. If you Google image Islam, it's interesting, it actually comes up with not so bad images. If you Google image Muslims, different story. So, for that reason, I mean that's the same, isn't it? So that was the print. This was the social media, the internet, and then this is the print media. All right. Okay. It's not all that bad though. He says, if it works. Oh. Will YouTube work on here, guys? I'm going to have to open it up.
Yeah, it will work. Yeah, it works.
Let's just try. Yeah. Here we go. Sorry about the advert.
It's put on the
Those of you
screen.
who like to share your breaks, try new Kit Kat Snap and Share.
I can see on my screen. Hi, team.
Oh, can you help?
So bizarre. Right, it says there, we hit 1 million views. Let me just double check where it is right now. When it was launched, this video, British Muslims happy. You all remember it? Honestly, guys, seriously, I don't know where it is. Is it the coffee? Is it the donuts? Is it what made you feel happy? I've done that several times. I've just had whole audiences clapping all the way through it. What's going on in Suffolk? Right. Why did I play that, people? I lost my mouse. Why did I play that, people? Guys, come on, why did I play that?
So that people in different religions can actually get along and be happy together.
Okay, were there any people in different religions in that clip?
Well,
Right, it's a counter, isn't it? It's a counter to what you just saw before. All those horrible, angry Muslims. Actually, that's okay. That's Google Images, but that's not the reality of Muslims and British Muslims in particular. Many of those people in that clip, I know them personally, and they're all passionate people. They love what they do. They're positive, contributing people to society. A whole lot of people from all walks of life there. The English chap right at the start, if you remember it, it was the guy who's really austere face, really sad face, and then he had that thing and he unveiled it and he smiled. That's an English professor of divinity in a college in Cambridge, not so far away from here, right? Called Timothy Winters. And he's one of the greatest Muslim scholars that we have in our land. Great guy. So yeah, that was about countering the negativity that's out there. That was 7/7 anniversary. Recently, it's a good friend of mine from Leeds, Kari Asim. Again, joint, togetherness. The clip on the right there is people being fed, homeless people as well as just ordinary people during the month of Ramadan. My jihad is to build relationships, across the aisle. So that conversation, the jihad is about struggle. It's not about fighting. All right, and then again the image there of the interfaith stuff going on. There's a lot of loads of really good stuff happening up and down the land. It's just unfortunate we don't get it. So this is just some more scriptures. I'm not going to spend all the time on this, but the mercy thing on the bottom, killing and injustice, enjoining justice. That's what it's about. Forbids indecency and evil, transgression. Right. Look at this eat and drink one. Right. Moderation. Okay. Don't walk arrogantly on the earth. This is God's earth. Be humble. All right. Nations and tribes so that you can get to know each other. We've been through that one. Equity. It's all positive stuff. All right. This is just snapshots of verses from the Quran. Words from the Blessed Prophet. Some of these I've mentioned before. That one on the bottom right. I love that. Neighbours is a really important aspect to this life. We've got neighbours. You can't be a true good Muslim if your neighbour's hungry and you've eaten your fill. All right? Keep it safe. We mentioned that one. Being just is closest to God consciousness. So all of that is, if you like, some of the reality of what the faith teaches us. And we've already mentioned this. It's about peace, love and justice. Totally different to what ISIS is trying to portray. Just some of the choices that unfortunately young people have made. But they forget, unfortunately, these are all young British Muslims, so they have gone on that path of radicalisation. They've left behind this devastation, horror, suffering, and haven't really thought about that in their choices. Just one little last one to finish off on a light-hearted note. Does anyone spot the deliberate mistake on this? Bit hard. Look at the flag on the bottom. Remember how it was before?
Upside down.
Well done. And if you ever do a Sieg Heil, you have to do it with your right hand. not that you ever will. So they've got it wrong. Some excuse there, the guy's got a can of beer in his other hand, so he's using his left instead of his right. And that's it, guys. We have the lights. So, we have now got 5 minutes. I know, Brandon, is that okay, Bob?
Yes, absolutely fine.